March 4th, 2015, day one of my egg freezing injections. I'm sitting at the edge of my bed, teary-eyed and trembling, holding a syringe full of hormones in my hands. You never truly feel quite as single and yet somehow oddly empowered as that moment when you stab yourself with a syringe full of hormones, realizing your entire reproductive future is in your hands. Choosing to freeze my eggs was my secret. It's not that I was ashamed. I just didn't want to tell the world, which was ironic because I tell the world everything. I work in ad sales. I get paid to talk. TMI is pretty much my middle name, and yet this was one secret I was holding real close to my chest, almost protecting it before it even happened. It all started with a phone call a couple months before to my mother. Hey, Ma. Yeah, no, of course I love you. No, I'm not sick. Oh, yeah, I bought my flight home. Listen, crazy idea. Should I freeze my eggs? Victoria, this is a very stupid question. You're 28 years old. You've been single 2 years. You should have done this yesterday. Right, yeah, of course you're right. No, honey, when will you learn? Mama's always right. At 4'11", my former Ukrainian gymnast of a mother was a spitfire, and nothing stood in the way of her and her future grandbabies. But honestly, I've been thinking about it for a while because my friends were growing up so fast, my Facebook feed clogged with engagements, houses, babies, and yet I felt like I was Peter Panning backwards in the best possible way. So on March 4th of this year, I grew up and I froze my eggs. I froze my eggs because I wanted to live out my dreams on my timeline, regardless of a man swooping in or a ticking biological clock. I did it to buy my freedom and equally my guilt. I recognized that this time in my life was sacred and it was limited. And I wanted to do crazy things, have reckless romances, travel the world. I didn't want to be accountable to anyone for a really long time. Fast forward to March, a blur of blood tests, ultrasounds, injections, 7 a.m., half naked in stirrups, talking to Dr. McDreamy about the weather as he casually yields a small phallic camera inside of me. Who needs coffee? And then for a month, no sex, drugs, smoking, drinking, nothing. Cocoon to my tiny 600 square foot apartment in the dead of winter. I was going crazy. And then on the 16th day, I went in for egg retrieval surgery, and it went great. I mean, I got 19 of those suckers out of me in an hour flat. But then my stomach was noticeably swollen, so the nurse handed me this one-sheeter on ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. I read that less than 1% of women contract this complication, and it's really painful and it's really serious. And then in 72 hours, I finally became part of that 1% of something. I was jolted awake mid-slumber with the most searing pain I've ever felt in my right ovary. I stood up and blacked out, awoke drenched in a cold, thick sweat. I was rushed to the ER, and there they diagnosed me with an ovarian torsion, which is when your ovary twists on itself, cutting off its blood supply, ultimately killing it. The irony was not lost on me. And the doctors were concerned that I had 2.5 liters of fluid building up in my belly and lungs. I seriously looked 8 months pregnant. It was a disaster. And dread washed over me at the sight of this needle he pulled out, the length and width of a shish kebab, slowly approaching me, like there's no way in hell that's going inside me. You're going through my belly button, right, Doc? And the nurses informed me, no, this was going inside of me, intervaginally. I begged for drugs and shrieked as that needle pierced through my grapefruit-sized ovaries, hitting organ by organ over and over again. 20 minutes felt like 20 hours. It was the single most painful, excruciating thing that I'd ever been through. But I woke up the next morning and I didn't feel regret and I didn't feel sorry for myself. I felt joy. So much so that I did something I hadn't planned on. I shared. I got on Facebook and I posted the whole damn thing. The pain, the gore, the giant needle, and ultimately the joy of relief of knowing that I had found this puzzle piece in my life all on my own. Something crazy happened. In the coming weeks, I felt sexier and stronger. I went on dates with reckless abandon, and before that poor boy got his first beer down, the words intervaginal shish kebab needle came spewing out of my mouth. I went to the beach, and I didn't wear a cover-up because I figured anyone can have abs, but I had grown the makings of a whole European soccer team in my belly in just 2 weeks. And so, a month later, Vice News reached out to me asking me to write an article, the first ever. And it went live on Mother's Day. Well played, Vice. Viral within 24 hours. And because I became this poster child of all the freakish things that could go wrong with egg freezing, this wild media circus ensued. Good Day LA and Fox interviews, a podcast, and holy shit, I'm gonna be in next week's edition of Time magazine. And throughout all of this, women from all over the world wrote me, asking me questions that I now could answer. Things nobody could do for me. And so as the trauma subsided, I was replaced with this superhuman feeling, the power to impact. How one tiny story could inform a person's life choices. I got this email the other day from a woman. Vicki, I don't know you. I feel like I do. Like you're a younger me, only I waited till my late 30s to freeze my eggs, and now it's too late. I think your story is going to be a game changer for the next generation of women. Good luck with your babies. God bless you. My story's a game changer? Like, no, I just wanted reckless romance and travel. I had no idea it would ripple out like this. And to think, I just wanted to keep a secret for the first time.